Hey guys, what's up? Jin here with another episode of the Pokemon podcast.
Oh man, I got soy sauce on my manga. God damn it.
Gotta read them all. I love that. I love that. Oh man, gotta read them all. Last time I gotta read them all. Oh man, I got soy sauce on my book. So anyway, we are doing chapter 16, Tauros the Tyrant.
Yeah, we are.
Which I think this is probably the best chapter yet out of this one. So
Even better than the zombie Pokemon?
I just mean in this book.
Oh, in this. Oh,
Yeah, we've only covered 2 chapters.
I forgot. I'm reading the omnibus.
You're like, what?
I was like, what? I thought you liked the zombie Pokemon one.
So we've started out. We're still in Celadon City. We're at the Celadon City arcade, and I really feel like it. Do you know if this is in the game? It's called the Rocket Game Arcade.
I want to say maybe it is. I'm not for sure. I haven't played the first game in quite some time, so I can't say for sure. I want to say maybe.
Well, I know that it was that their like little secret thing is hidden underneath of it.
Are you sure it wasn't
I didn't know that the actual arcade was called the Rocket Game Arcade.
Are you sure it wasn't the TV station you were thinking of?
No, because their base is underneath the game thing. After, who is it? There's one Pokemon you got to try and catch, and then it opens up to you, and you're like, "What?" I think it's after you go to one of the caves. But anyway, because I remember that this is one of the only places you can get like Porygon, and it just you got to play the slots like forever. I fucking hated that game.
Maybe it's the same place then.
But we will not be playing slots on this episode, okay? So put your money away. We won't be doing that. But we are at this super secret base, the Rocket Game Arcade. And everybody is bringing up that we are looking for this girl, Green, and that we are trying to find this person. Now, we do have somebody that looks very oddly familiar to us, which is Red, dressed in a Team Rocket outfit.
Yeah. That was very interesting take to see from what happens in this manga that we'll talk about later. But
right. Well, and I think it's really funny, like, even underneath the cap, like, his hair still sticks out.
Yeah, it's still
and
red.
How his hair sticks out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we kind of jump back to the end of
the last chapter.
Yeah, the last chapter 15. And Red goes back to where he originally kind of fought Green and is still looking for his 2 badges that he knows that she has stolen at this point because he can't find them anywhere. They're not in his bag, anything else. And he pulls out a map trying to know exactly where all he was. And we have 2 Team Rocket grunts walking down the way.
Yeah.
Now, Red hiding behind a tree because he knows the bad stuff that Team Rocket can do. And these guys may know him, or they may not. Who knows?
Yeah, and he's like, zip! And he kind of, or it says Vip in my book. And he kind of like looks.
It says Vip in my book too.
Okay, it says Vip. And he kind of like looks behind a tree and they're talking about the girl who they're looking for. And he kind of motions to one of the Team Rocket guys. And he's like, hey, come here. Come look at this. This is something cool I want to show you.
Fuck.
And then
knocks the dude out.
How exactly does he knock out the Team Rocket member?
Oh.
Do you know?
I didn't even think about that.
Does he just knock him out?
Has to have.
He has to just use his boy strength.
I mean, because there's unless it's like off screen. Exit stage right.
Do you think he like just like hits him with a rock or something, or maybe gets his
Has to
Pokemon to
have.
do it or something?
Has to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm trying to want to think what makes the sound flock,
I don't
but
know.
I don't know either. I mean, usually you can kind of see the sign with it.
Yeah.
Um, but we have where there are three teams of Team Rocket guys.
Hmm.
They're sending Unit A out to point 16 east, B Unit out to patrol on point 21 west. And then C Unit is going to go down in the laboratory, which we do get this kind of little cool scene where the guy removes a cloth from the wall and it reveals the control panel to actually open the escape.
It's like a poster, I think. I think it's a
Yeah.
poster. He
Oh,
like
yeah. Okay. I thought it was like a sheet that was over it. Yeah, I
no,
see it.
it's a poster.
Yeah, it's behind the poster. Okay.
Yeah.
And it drops down to reveal the stairs to the laboratory.
Hmm. And we get our first reveal of Mewtwo in a tank, and
Yep.
he's looks like they're trying to create him, but he's not yet whole when it comes to I guess being Mewtwo.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's
We are still going through the jelly process of him, basically.
Yeah, he's still being born. And they only have half of him hooked up to chains. And the other half's like not hooked up with to anything because he has no other half.
Right. Which I'm surprised they didn't try and hook up his tail,
Yeah.
honestly. But we do get this little panel here where they are talking about we're trying to make Mewtwo, but for right now, we can only go so far off of the Mew cell that we have recovered from before, which lets us know that this is when they saw Mew in the Viridian Forest in Book 1.
Do you think that is the case? That's where they saw him, or that's where they got it from?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And we see a bald headed character with a mustache and glasses
Right?
who, I mean, do you want to spoil it here right now or wait and say who this is? Because I
Oh,
know who it
yeah.
is.
Yeah, I mean, we can spoil it now. I mean,
It's Blaine. It's
yeah.
the Pokemon Gym Master Blaine.
Right. So if you want to play a little Where's Waldo on this chapter, you can do that. But we find out that there is a hard floppy disk, which those are so old. We find out that there is a floppy disk that they are actually needing that gives a location to where Mew is, and that
I
from
um I like it that it just says Mew on the floppy disk.
that's true. I like it
It
too.
just says Mew.
But this is supposed to give us like his location.
Is it supposed to give us his location?
Yeah, I think it's supposed to give us his location to get more cells and to have a better structure on it because it's got like everything from you, as far as we're led to believe.
Because honestly, I was a little confused exactly what they were going to do with that floppy disk and what was on it.
Yeah,
They just said they needed it to finish Mewtwo, but
right.
I didn't really know if that was to find Mew or not exactly.
I don't know. I think maybe, and I don't know if this is true or not, but this might not be the actual Mewtwo that we have at the very end of the process.
So it's not the Mewtwo, it's a Mewtwo.
It may not. I'm not sure, so don't quote me on that.
Okay,
But
because aren't there?
it may not.
Correct me if I'm wrong in the Pokemon canon, or and at least from one of the movies, there's a different Mewtwo, right?
Uh,
No, maybe
no,
like one of them had like a girl voice and one of them had a guy voice.
no.
Is that just different?
Yeah,
Okay. Never mind.
that's
Sorry, never
that's the
mind.
Japanese. That's the Japanese version.
It was the English version, actually.
Yeah, it's the recast.
I'm sorry. Okay, it probably was a recast because he did like a mega evolution in there. So I didn't know if it was the same Mewtwo or they retconned anything or something like that.
Okay. You're talking about X and Y. I am not sure.
Okay.
In the X and Y lore, there may be two Mewtwo's because I know that
Yeah.
there is an X stone and a Y stone, but I thought it was the same one.
He was fighting like this weird legendary Pokemon in the movie. I can't remember what the movie was called.
Okay. I thought
Yeah.
we were going off of Pokemon, the first movie, and the remake, the
No,
Netflix remake.
no, no.
Um, but we have our floppy disk,
Yes.
and we are going to find this information, and we have seen Green to the east. So that is
Yeah.
where we are going to kind of team up and gang up on her.
I love this next part where they're all surrounding Green at this moment, and uh, she's like,
It,
"Oh, all
it
this
kind of
fuss."
reminds me of like an old biker gang.
Kind of a little bit, yeah.
We're about to beat you up.
We're about to beat you up with our biker Pokemon.
Yeah.
But she's like, "Oh, you don't need to have all this fuss just for me, just a little girl. You know, you boys must have run out of evil things to do." And they're like, "We're gonna fucking kick your ass."
Right.
And they pull out their Pokemon like Rhyhorn, Hitmonlee, and Graveler. Is it
Yes.
Graveler?
Yes.
I get Graveler and is it Golem confused.
Yeah, and this is one of the other ones that we actually brought it up, I believe, in episode 6, maybe whatever episode where he fought Brock.
It's 5 or 6, I think.
Yeah, and in this manga right now, Graveler is one of the Pokemon that is not what he should be because he floats.
Yeah, there's little somethings here and there that don't add up in the games
Yeah, and
versus what
then
happens in the manga.
well, just in general, Graveler
Yeah,
doesn't float because he's a
yeah,
rock. But the one other thing is in this one that we do see is that Hitmonlee's leg is like a spring,
yeah. I
and
thought that was actually pretty cool in the manga.
right,
But I like this part where she's like, expect, except I won't, uh, I want to catch the cute little Mew, and because she's holding onto the floppy disk, and she's like, that's what I want the floppy disk for. And she gives it to War Turtle, and like he catches it in his mouth, and you see the guy, and he's like, okay, let's attack him, but don't hit the floppy disk.
right.
Don't hit the floppy disk. Spare the floppy disk. Kill the Pokemon.
So in this instant, did you realize like, hey, maybe all the people currently in Team Rocket, except for like Giovanni and part of like the upper management people,
Are
prob-
idiots.
probably didn't graduate high school.
They're dumb as fuck.
They are. They are.
Yeah.
But we have where the Machop and the Hitmonlee go after War Turtle.
Mm-hmm.
Neither one of them can really land a blow. They end up hitting each other and knocking each other.
Oh, I love this part where they're trying to hit him, and then they knock each other out.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I like it too. Which I really wonder. I mean, I guess the only way that Hitmonlee would have been able to hit Machoke or Machamp is if his leg did stretch.
Yeah. Oh, there's a Geodude here too.
Huh?
They have a Geodude as well.
Yeah.
I didn't see the Geodude beforehand.
Yeah, he comes in a little later.
Yeah.
He must be hiding.
But Green says that you gotta be more careful because I'm gonna outsmart you because I have 2 badges.
Right.
And I love this. I love
That's
this
what
scene.
I love too.
The scene where this whole thing is going on. Red's in the background being like, that bitch is using my lines.
This bitch. She
bitch.
not only stole my badges, but she's also stealing my lines.
Yeah.
Goodness.
And then so our random Team Rocket guy takes out a Tauros. And I have to say, this Tauros looks different than most Tauroses. Or Tauros eyes.
Yeah, for real, he's beefy.
He's beefy, like big. So yeah. I was a little curious if he was like a special Tauros.
I don't know. Maybe he could be like a shiny Tauros.
Well, they called him like the king of the Safari Zone
Right.
in this. So
Which is where they probably caught him at.
yeah,
And you're not supposed to be able to battle with other Pokemon in the Safari Zone, so it would have been
yeah.
really hard to catch one anyway. But it's
Well,
Team Rocket. I mean, they probably took nets in there and caught him anyway.
well, Ash caught like 30 of them, right?
Yeah, but that wasn't the king of the safari.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
my bad. But you find out that he's like the leader of the herd of Tauroses, and you find out that he has a special ability where he can flick his tails and apparently control other Pokemon.
yeah. Which I'm a little confused on that part, but
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is what?
it's
I've
kind of
never
like
heard of
he
that.
can. It's kind of like he can use his three tails
To
to
like hypnotize him.
smack his own ass, and like
I
I
mean,
guess
that's what it looks like.
yeah, and that's what it is.
That's
And
what it looks like. He just smacks his own butt.
it like I guess plays a tune or a chime or whatever for the other Pokemon to listen to him. Maybe
Maybe. Who
hey,
knows?
listen to me, do ching ching,
Yeah, listen to my butt tunes.
boop boop boop.
Boop boop.
So, but like we kind of talked about in the last episode, we do kind of get revealed the Green's Pokemon that she has right now, which
Yeah.
I have to say are pretty cool now that we know more than just War Turtle.
Yeah, so War Turtle gets knocked out and they get the disc back and Green switches to another Pokemon that she has and this Pokemon is the little Jello Pokemon himself, Ditto. And what's special about Ditto?
Ditto can transform into other Pokemon.
Yeah, that's his thing.
Yeah. Which we'll find out a secret about this later, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
Um, but we do have in this instance, Tauros is charging straight at Green and Ditto and ends up going over the edge of this cliff as Red dives and pushes Green out of the way.
Hmm.
From here, we're kind of moving forward with all of this, and we have this Tauros that is like clawing. I guess would it be called hoofing?
He's hoofing
He's
to
hoofing his way back up the side of the cliff.
I guess is he hoofing his way up the side of the cliff?
Yeah, because he technically like fell off.
Well, he fell off, but then you find out that I get maybe they didn't see him fall off
Yeah,
because it's not Tauros.
right, right.
It's
Well,
Ditto.
I think what happened is they knocked Tauros fell off, and Ditto was able to change into him and hold on to the edge
Uh
and
huh.
pull himself back up, and so it looks like
Oh yeah.
Tauros is the one coming back up,
Now that
but
you
it's
now
not.
that you say that, I do see that, and
But
and yeah, this scene's really funny, to where she's like, "Oh, you came." Green says, "Oh, you came to rescue me." Uh, and then I like it when Red says, "I don't suppose you happen to notice that Pokemon fell off the cliff."
right,
Yeah, I just thought that was funny.
yeah, that her Pokemon fell off the cliff.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then we have where Tauros has learned how to use whatever this move is to play his butt.
yeah, his butt move.
Which like our Rhydon disappeared and there's a Rhyhorn now.
Is it? Oh, it is.
So I
Do you
wonder.
think that was the Rhyhorn that changed from being a Rhydon to a Rhyhorn in that one episode or that one chapter?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Yeah, I don't think so. Just because there's so many different Pokemon in the world,
Oh,
you know.
well, Tauros, not Tauros, uses ass
I love it. Tauros, not Tauros.
his ass move to round up all the other Pokemon that are there, and they all attack. They
His
all attack
Astrum.
Team
He
Rocket.
uses his Astrum.
He uses his ass drum to they all attack Team Rocket, and Team Rocket gets a shit beat out of them. And they
Yes.
so I mean not red, green basically takes off Red's disguise, and he is no longer in disguise anymore. And she's like, oh look, this is my boyfriend. He's in disguise. He helped me out. I feel like it
Right.
was kind of like, hey, if you want to blame anybody, blame this dumbass right here.
Right. He infiltrated y'all.
Yeah, he infiltrated y'all. My
Y'all should hate him
boyfriend.
more. Y'all should hate him more now.
Yeah, yeah, hate him more. And then we get find out Green's third Pokemon, which is Jigglypuff.
Yes.
Which I have a question about Jigglypuff
Yes.
in this manga. When
Yes.
when did Jigglypuff learn how to fly away like a balloon?
It doesn't. It just takes on air. So I'm not sure. Maybe its vibrations do things.
Do
Or
you think
maybe Smash Brothers is where it got its inspiration.
did it fill up with air and then it just fell down the cliff?
I think so. Or
You
that it
think
took
so?
on enough air for them to float up high enough.
Yeah.
Because it shows that they're still rising. And then we see the cool thing where Tauros ends up turning back into Ditto.
Yeah, I like that. And I like the part where Green retrieves Ditto and the Pokeball goes to her,
Yeah.
which that part's cool. And she's like, Ditto
Which
can change into any Pokemon there
which
is.
I really wonder if that's an actual Pokeball or Ditto is the Pokeball.
Hmm. That's a good question.
I mean,
I don't
especially
have an
like you
answer for
said,
that.
where he jumps. It looks like he could have jumped up there as the
Yeah,
Pokemon.
true.
But Green is good at thinking on her feet, so she actually drops the disc, quote unquote,
The disc.
that matters to these guys to go back and actually finish the project for Mew.
Yes.
Um, which, again, returning to the scene of
The crime.
it's not the crime, I guess, because
The
of the
the the
hideout.
rocket arcade.
Yeah, of the hideout.
Yeah, their secret layer.
We have where they are both sitting here watching this, and Red, I almost said Ash. Red brings up and says, you kind of like let the disc go. Like,
Yeah,
what's the whole deal with that? And she goes, no, I didn't. I still have it. The one I dropped basically was a fake.
yeah. And
And
that's kind of
we
where
get where
our chapter ends.
she's all like smitten about it, laughing and everything.
Yeah.
Um, and that she's gonna help. It's the disc is gonna help her catch the cutest Pokemon, which is what she kind of already told us. And I really wonder if Red knows what we're talking about, because he keeps kind of acting like he doesn't know who Mew is.
Well, the thing is, I don't remember if he actually knew who Mew was, but he saw Mew.
Right.
So I don't know if he put two and two together that
Who knows?
they are the same Pokemon. Because I remember he just knew it as what was it, the Phantom Pokemon, I think it was,
Yeah.
within the first chapter. So uh, I don't think he knows who exactly Mew is at this moment. I think he'll
Right.
find out who Mew is later.
Right. And then we get to find out some other cool things, which I wonder how it kind of got into the Pokédex.
Yeah.
Things that Mike and I know, and if you've read this, then you kind of know in a direction that I may be hinting, but we don't want to spoil it for you guys just yet. Um, but so
Yeah.
far, I mean, what do you think of this one, Chapter 16, and where we've gotten in the book so far?
I think it dovetails very nicely from the previous chapter into this.
Yeah.
And we get to see more of Green, who was very much absent within the last volume, basically entirely.
Right.
She was not in the last volume. Um,
And
I like
I think these first three chapters are kind of this little story arc between green and red, you know.
Like, I like it that we have this continuous story going on, and it's adding in layers like normal. Like the other ones have been like one shots and
Yeah,
kind of lead into the other ones, but nothing too serious like this one. Um,
right.
I like Green as a character. I think Green is a phenomenal character at this time. I don't know if that will change going forward, but I like the character of Green.
Right.
Um, I think she's a pretty fun character. 'Cause she's cunning and thinks on her feet and stuff like that. And she doesn't have as many Pokemon as the other two, so she's kind of limited to what she can do.
Well, another thing with that is we really don't know that.
Well, I know that.
We don't know if she has as many Pokemon as they do.
I
Eh,
do.
but what do you mean you do?
Okay, because on the in the front it shows like their Pokemon team basically.
Right.
Yeah, she has like
Right.
two more Pokemon. Well, she gets two more Pokemon, I guess you could say.
Yeah. I mean, they'll all have 6 at the end of it. But
Yeah,
right now, I think everybody has their main 3. Well,
yeah,
Red has 4.
yeah. I mean,
And we're
I
not
liked it. Sorry.
we don't exactly know Blues just yet, but we
We know
will.
most of his team.
Yes.
But
Well,
I
part
mean,
of
I
them.
liked it. It's cool to get more of a female focus within the Pokemon world. Not gonna lie, it's kind of been a sausage fest a little bit, unless you count Misty being in those couple chapters. Pretty
That's
much
true.
been dudes
That's
the whole
true.
time. Um, but yeah, I like it. I like it that we got more into the
So let me
mythology of Pokemon.
throw this at you.
All right, what?
Do you think her turtle is a boy or a girl?
I want to say a boy.
Okay. That's
Why?
what I was thinking too. You know, in the games usually your first Pokemon goes with your gender.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
And
that.
so, you know, if you pick a boy, then your first Pokemon is a boy. If you pick a girl, then it's a girl. So that's kind of how it evens itself out, I guess, in some way.
Oh,
Um, but you know, reading this, I kind of thought about that too, and I was like, huh, well, I wonder if they would go with that, like they focus closely enough on that to make her Pokemon a girl as well, or is it a boy? As far as I can tell, I think all 3 of our starters in this though are boys.
maybe I don't know.
Um,
I don't know if there's a difference like physically,
right.
like there's with like Pikachu. I can tell by like the tail. You
Some of
know,
them, yeah.
yeah, because some of them have like the heart shaped tail if they're a girl.
Yeah. Well, and some of that didn't actually come around for a while,
Yeah,
so
I know. It got retconned in.
it was like, haha, look at this tail.
I know. Okay, I know. But I like it that we get
But
Mewtwo. I like that we get Mewtwo in this and more Mew. And
yeah,
I'm guessing they're going to play a big part in this manga.
right.
I'm
Well,
just guessing.
and so I know like in the next chapter focuses on green and red as well. So I think that'll be the end of this little like small story arc that we have right here.
Is it? Are you sure?
Yeah, because the
This.
one after that, I think we go back with blue.
Oh, good. Yeah, if I get to see more blue.
Yeah. Oh, blue fan, huh?
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I do like blue. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh.
Um. So well, so and the one thing that I really like in this one right now that we have
Uh
is
huh.
that we do have red, and red is our happy-go-lucky main character. Like, you know, even when he tries to sneak into Team Rocket, like he's still foolish. You know, like
Yeah.
it seems like he keeps his mouth closed, and that's what we get the whole time. With
Yeah.
Blue, we do have that really edgy character,
Hmm.
and I think that his is really good. Now, when we have Green kind of come into it, we get this super edgy character that's almost like Catwoman.
You could say she's like a mixture of both of them.
Yeah, to an extent.
Yeah. She's happy go lucky, but she's also like edgy, kind of.
Yeah.
You know.
So
Yeah,
I
she's
I
she's she's a cat burglar or
I
a
think that
thief.
she kind of complements the trio very well,
Yeah.
especially going forward into it and seeing what will come after it later on.
I mean, not gonna lie, the one I'm really interested in, honestly, is when they take Red off the table. Well, like you know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, the statue arc thingy.
Yeah, yeah, where they just he's completely gone from the story. Like,
Okay, you
yeah,
mean with yellow?
yeah, like I'm really interested, and I can't wait to get to that part
Yeah,
because
because you haven't gotten that far in
no,
the actual
no,
Pokemon Avengers. Okay, so there's like 3 times where he disappears.
okay, good,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
good.
So that's why I had asked the statue part. So when we get to that, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Well,
But
it's the part where blue and green play a bigger role,
yes,
and blue gets a little emo and puts on a cloak.
yes.
Yeah, yeah. So what did you think of this one?
I really liked it. Like I said in the last chapter, we didn't have too much. Like it was just kind of an introductory one, and
Yeah,
kind of a two birds with one stone one. I feel like because we got the introduction of this new character and the
yeah.
Squirtle War Turtle, but we also got the evolution of Bulbasaur.
In the
So I
last chapter.
in the last chapter.
Yeah.
In this chapter, we got the introduction of the arcade, which I really wonder if they're going to do anything more with the arcade. I can't
Mhm.
remember, but we do know that the lab is a part of this. Um,
Yeah.
and that also puts into effect some of the better things that I like in this manga, like our little story we will get with Blaine and Mewtwo coming up. Um,
Yeah. And it looks like we see is it Serena in the next chapter coming up? Or a
for
chapter or
Jinx,
two. Yeah, and the Jinx.
let me look real quick.
Or after that. Like Serena, Misty, and Brock are in it, and then Blue comes back, and or I'm just getting ahead of myself.
Yeah, you're
I'm
getting
getting
ahead
ahead
of
of
yourself.
myself. That's not
That's
that's
that's like
yeah
18.
yeah. Never mind. I
Uh,
flipped too far.
you're like, dang it. Yeah, I mean, well, the next chapter almost kind of sneaks up on you. I feel like because you're sitting there looking at it, and it hops over, and it's right on the back of one of the pages. So I almost missed it.
Yeah,
I was like, what the heck?
I gotta say this chapter isn't that long. This next
Yes,
chapter is not that long,
yes.
so
I feel like almost all these next chapters aren't that long, and I can't tell if it's because we're really enjoying the story
yeah,
or if it's because they just really aren't that long.
yeah. Because I remember going forward, like I think they're like 15 pages if you count both sides
Yeah,
a chapter. So I mean, I know some are longer than others. I think the first one was like maybe like 20, or second one was like 25 pages. First one was 25.
yeah,
So we'll I know it's like 15 to 25 pages a chapter. So
right. But I mean, we are going to get into some more things because as we've been saying, the first 3 books of this are the red, blue, green books.
yeah.
Before we get into the fourth one, starting with yellow.
So I mean, I know you've already read this,
Yeah.
but in your rereading it for the podcast, what are you looking forward to going
Like,
forward?
what are we getting to, or
Yeah,
just
yeah, but what we're getting to, like, what are you looking forward to, like rereading? I guess.
enjoying the adventure
Yeah.
again? Picking up on stuff that I might not have picked up on before.
Uh huh.
Um, because since I've read it once, I was really focused on enjoying the story and everything else. And this time it's doing that, but it's also keeping an eye out for other little things that may be in there.
Yeah.
Like the Rocket Arcade. I didn't realize that was a thing. Um, I knew that Team Rocket had a base in it, but I didn't know that the arcade actually had Rocket on the sign. You know,
Yeah, because see, I remember like the TV station. I think it was a radio station.
yeah,
I think it was in the first game. I vaguely remember the arcade.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I just, and I kind of wonder if we will get some other aspects out of this, like
yeah,
Pokemon from the arcade, um, because we will have other things that play into this.
mm-hmm.
And like you said, like with your one of your favorite games being the Gold Silver series and stuff. Uh, I can't wait to see us get some more of those guys
Yeah,
in this one that we will see have a bigger storyline part in those stories.
yeah,
you know, because we will have Pokemon here that have evolutions, have other storylines related to other Pokemon in those next ones coming up like that.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and then just mentally, I guess, filling out our Pokédex. I think that's another thing. Seeing all these Pokemon again for like the next time in life, and then seeing mentally us checking off our national Pokédexes and us trying to you know, check all of Kanto.
Yeah.
So I think that's a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have really enjoyed this chapter, and I hope that we do have more fun adventures as we go.
Well, I mean, we only have like 24 more chapters to go till we finish Red, Blue,
Right,
Green.
right,
So
right, and we should finish it right before the end of the year. So that's
I
kind of
think
another goal too.
I mean, to be honest, I think if we keep going with like one a week, I think we might be okay. You
Yeah,
know.
we'll finish those three just right before the end of the year, and we'll actually start on book 4, which is Yellow's story.
Yeah.
So it should be a really fun time covering all that
Does
stuff.
that one go into Crystal, or is Crystal after Gold and Silver?
Yeah, Crystal's after Gold and Silver.
Oh, okay, I couldn't remember.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because we got to
Because
think about how the games come out.
on my book after Yellow, uh, it's like weird. So like it like on the next omnibus it's blue, and then the next one is yellow is on the omnibus,
Oh,
and
and the
then
third one.
yeah, on the third one it's yellow, and I think Crystal is on the fourth one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's weird. I'm just saying it's weird.
Yeah,
That's why I kind of get confused a little bit.
yeah. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to make headway.
Maybe I don't
so,
know.
but this one is a very good one. So check it out if you're reading it with us. I know we're going at a slow pace of covering it, but we're doing one a week for you guys to really enjoy and sink your teeth into. So
We were doing two a week first.
we were doing 2 a week at
Oh my
first.
god, that was crazy.
So, but we want to open up other opportunities for other things to cover for you
Yeah,
guys. So,
yeah.
but anyway, guys, thanks for listening. As always, see you next Tuesday, and stay tuned for more great content coming from Mike and I on our individual shows, the main podcast, where we got some real bangers coming out, and as well
I'm not
as
going to be on a couple of those, so I hope they're bangers.
whatever. and and as well as just every other show that we throw out, we enjoy talking and having conversation with everybody. So
Yes, and
anyway,
we're
guys,
gonna have some interviews in a couple weeks too.
yes, we will. And
Yeah,
stay tuned for the all-time one that you will want to watch or listen to, which is a bonus podcast episode when you guys will see it when me and Mike actually meet in person for the first time.
are we actually doing that?
Hell yeah. Why
Like,
not?
are we actually like? Are we gonna like shoot like a video, Do like a live stream type of thing?
Both. We're both. We're gonna do all of it.
Okay. Like an Instagram,
Different things.
like an Instagram live stream?
Yeah, we're gonna have a do stuff like that and watch us eat burritos. Cover some other shit like that. And then
I just
just a little one where we actually like, meet each other for the first time, talk about it. Maybe we'll say, "Oh my gosh, Jen Graves is taller than I thought." Oh well,
I
mine's
already know
shorter
that you're
than I thought.
tall.
Yeah, but the actual first reaction is seeing this person that you've known forever, and then what it really is like.
What if it just falls flat on its face?
I mean, I hope we don't fall flat on our faces. That's why it's just a bonus, not a main. So,
Well, we'll have to see if we can podcast. So my wife said we can't really podcast when I'm there. So
that's okay. We can piece together over 3 days at least a 30-minute video.
well, one of the days it's gonna be me showing up at like 1:00 in the morning. So
That's true. That's true. We're gonna have to set our alarm clocks. So,
it's true.
I only slept 5 hours.
But we'll
Well,
put it on. We'll put it on the YouTube channel.
right.
We'll put
So,
it on the YouTube channel.
anyway, guys, like I said, as usual, see you next Tuesday. And have a great time. Enjoy your Pokemon stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And Arceus is coming out soon. Super, super excited. All right. Bye.